How to build a $1 million retirement on an average salary. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to David Invests. If you are new here, this channel exists to give regular people the honest financial information that nobody handed them growing up. The stuff that changes how you see every dollar you earn. No hype, no gatekeeping, no courses to sell. Just a real roadmap for building real wealth on a real salary. And if you have been following this series from the beginning, you know exactly who we are talking about today. Chris, the delivery driver in Phoenix. Priya, the hospital administrator in Dallas. Raymond, the teacher in Memphis. Keisha, the office manager in Nashville. Andre and Vanessa grinding through their debt payoff. Thomas building his foundation at 52. Jordan learning the hard way about stock picking. Sophie quietly compounding in the background with her two-fund portfolio. Real people, regular incomes, building something real one decision at a time. Today's video is the one that ties everything together, because throughout this entire series, I have been showing you pieces of the puzzle. Emergency funds, debt payoff order, Roth IRAs, index funds, compound interest, passive income, the decade by decade roadmap. Today, I want to zoom all the way out and show you the complete picture, the full trajectory, the answer to the question that sits underneath every other question in personal finance. Can a regular person, someone earning an average salary, without a trust fund, without a windfall, without a lucky break, actually retire with $1 million? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you exactly how, with real numbers, real timelines, real strategies, and real examples from people you already know from this series. Let's get into it. Before I get into the numbers, I want to address something directly, because I know that for a lot of people watching this, the word millionaire does not feel like something that applies to them. It feels like a word for other people, people who started with advantages, people who made partner at a law firm or founded a company or inherited something, not people who drive delivery routes or work hospital administration or teach high school. I want to challenge that belief directly, not with motivation, with math. The math of compound interest does not care about your starting salary. It does not care about your zip code or your educational background or what your parents did for a living. It cares about three things: how much you contribute, how consistently you contribute, and how long you leave it alone. And what the math shows consistently across every scenario, across every income level, is that a regular person contributing a reasonable percentage of a regular salary to a tax-advantaged account invested in low-cost index funds, starting early enough and staying consistent long enough, will almost certainly cross the $1 million threshold before traditional retirement age. Not maybe, not if they get lucky, almost certainly, given enough time and enough consistency. The question is not whether it is possible. The math proves it is possible. The question is, what specifically does possible look like for someone at your income level, starting from wherever you are right now? That is what today's video answers. Let me start by establishing what $1 million retirement actually means in practical terms, because I think a lot of people have either overestimated or underestimated what that number delivers. $1 million in a retirement account, drawing down at the widely recommended 4% annual withdrawal rate, generates $40,000 per year in income every year, without depleting the principal meaningfully if the portfolio continues to grow at historical rates. $40,000 per year is $3,333 per month. For most people, that is not their entire retirement income. Social Security adds to it. The average Social Security benefit in 2025 is approximately $1,900 per month for someone who worked a full career. Combined with the $1 million portfolio generating $3,333 per month, a retired person has approximately $5,200 per month in income on no mortgage, because a key goal of the retirement roadmap is to own your home outright or have very low housing costs by retirement. $5,200 per month is a genuinely comfortable retirement for most people in most parts of the country. Not lavish, not traveling the world in first class, but comfortable, secure, without financial stress, without depending on children or government programs beyond Social Security. That is what $1 million retirement actually delivers for a regular person. And that outcome, $5,200 per month in retirement income combining portfolio withdrawals and Social Security, is absolutely achievable on a regular salary. Let me show you exactly how. Let me introduce one more character today, someone who is just starting their financial journey and represents a clean starting point for the math I'm about to walk through. Meet Elena, 22 years old. She just graduated from college and started her first real job as a data entry specialist at an insurance company in Columbus, Ohio. She makes $38,000 per year to start. She has $800 in her checking account, a small amount of student loan debt at a manageable interest rate, and essentially no financial knowledge beyond what she has picked up from videos like this one. Elena is in many many ways the most common starting point. Young, not earning a lot yet, not behind yet either because she is just beginning. No financial foundation, but no catastrophic mistakes either. A completely clean slate. And Elena, if she follows the roadmap I am about to lay out, will retire at 65 with over $1 million on a starting salary of $38,000 per year, without a single extraordinary financial event, without a windfall, without a lucky stock pick, without anything except time and consistency applied to a simple strategy. Let me show you exactly how. Year 1 through year 3. Elena is 22 to 24 years old. In year 1, Elena does 4 things. She builds a starter emergency fund of $1,000 in a high-yield savings account. She enrolls in her employer's 401k and contributes exactly enough to capture the full employer match. In her case, her employer matches 50% of contributions up to 6% of salary, so she contributes 6% to capture the full 3% employer match. On her $38,000 salary, that means she is contributing $2,280 per year, and her employer is adding $1,140. Total going into her 401k in year 1, $3,420. She also opens a Roth IRA and sets up a $100 monthly automatic contribution, $1,200 per year, invested in a total market index fund and a total international index fund split 80-20. In years 2 and 3, she keeps her contributions running and focuses on building her full emergency fund to 3 months of essential expenses, approximately $2,800 for her situation, while making minimum payments on her student loans. Total invested by age 24, approximately $13,500 between her 401k and Roth IRA. Her portfolio at 24 at a 10% average return, roughly $15,000. It does not look impressive yet, but the foundation is set, the habit is built, the automation is running, and compound interest has just started its work. Year 4 through year 10. Elena is 25 to 31 years old. In year 4, Elena gets her first meaningful raise. Her salary increases to $42,000. She applies the 50% rule immediately. Half of the after-tax raise increase goes to bumping her investment contributions before lifestyle inflation can absorb it. She increases her Roth IRA contribution from $100 to $150 per month. Over this period, Elena gets 2 more modest raises to $46,000 at 27 and $50,000 at 29. Each time she applies the 50% rule and increases her contributions. By age 31, Elena is contributing approximately 8% to her 401k, capturing her full employer match, and $200 per month to her Roth IRA. Her student loans are paid off at 28, freeing up $180 per month that she splits, $90 to her Roth IRA, increasing her contribution to $290 per month, and $90 to her lifestyle. By age 31, her portfolio, a 401k plus Roth IRA combined, has grown to approximately $95,000. Not $1 million yet, but look at the trajectory. She went from $15,000 at 24 to $95,000 at 31. 7 years, 6 times growth, and the compounding is just starting to accelerate. This is the part of the journey that feels slow, that feels like it is not working, that makes people question whether any of this is actually going to add up to anything meaningful. The numbers are growing, but they do not feel impressive yet. This is exactly where most people lose faith and slow down or stop. Elena does not stop because she has run the math. She knows what comes next. Year 11 through year 20. Elena is 32 to 41 years old. This is the decade where compound interest starts becoming visible in a way that did not feel possible in the earlier years. Elena's portfolio is now large enough that the market returns on her existing balance are beginning to contribute almost as much to her annual growth as her new contributions are. At 32, Elena is earning $52,000. She has no debt. Her emergency fund is fully funded. Her automatic contributions are running. She increases her 401k contribution to 10%, still capturing the full match, and her Roth IRA contributions to $350 per month. At 35, she gets a significant promotion. Her salary jumps to $61,000. She applies the 50% rule to the entire raise increase. Her Roth IRA contribution goes to $450 per month. Her 401k contribution goes to 12%. At 38, she gets another raise to $65,000. Small adjustment. Roth IRA goes to $500 per month. By age 41, after 19 years of consistent investing, Elena's combined portfolio has grown to approximately $380,000. Let me put that in perspective. She started at 0 at 22. She has never earned an extraordinary salary. She has never had a windfall or an inheritance or a lucky investment. She has just been consistently contributing to simple index funds and tax-advantaged accounts for 19 years and letting compound interest do its work. $380,000, almost 4 times what she had at 31. And the growth rate is accelerating because now the market returns on a $380,000 portfolio are generating tens of thousands of dollars per year just from growth without her contributing a single additional dollar. Year 21 through year 30. Elena is 42 to 51 years old. This is the decade where the math starts doing things that look almost fictional. Elena's portfolio is now large enough that compound interest is doing the heavy lifting. Her contributions matter, but the growth on her existing balance matters more. At 42, Elena is earning $68,000. She is continuing her systematic contributions. 12% to her 401k, $500 per month to her Roth IRA. Automatic, consistent, boring from the outside, and extraordinary from the inside. At 45, she turns 50. Wait, let me correct that. At 49, she turns 50 and becomes eligible for catch-up contributions. She immediately increases her Roth IRA contribution by the catch-up amount, an additional $1,000 per year, and increases her 401k contributions to capture the additional $7,500 per year catch-up allowance. By age 51, after 29 years of consistent investing, Elena's combined portfolio has grown to approximately $780,000. She is $220,000 away from $1 million. She has 14 years until traditional retirement age. At her current trajectory, she crosses $1 million at approximately age 55, 10 years before she even reaches 65. And if she continues working and contributing until 65, her portfolio does not stop at $1 million. It keeps growing. Year 31 through year 43. Elena is 52 to 65 years old. This is the final stretch. And the math in this phase is almost hard to look at directly because the numbers are so different from where she started. Elena's portfolio crossed $1 million at 55. She kept working, kept contributing, kept the automation running. At 62, her portfolio crossed $1,800,000. At 65, her target retirement age, her combined portfolio is approximately $2,200,000, $2.2 million, on a career that started at $38,000 per year and peaked somewhere around $72,000 per year, without a single extraordinary financial event, without a windfall, without stock picking or market timing or any strategy more complicated than consistent contributions to simple index funds in tax-advantaged accounts over 43 years. At 4% withdrawal rate, a $2,200,000 portfolio generates $88,000 per year in retirement income, plus Social Security, estimated at approximately $24,000 per year based on her earnings history. Total retirement income, approximately $112,000 per year, on a salary that never exceeded $72,000. She will have more money in retirement than she ever earned while working, because compound interest does not care what your salary is. It cares how long you let it run. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Elena started at 22. What if you are 35 and just getting started? What if you are 45? Does the $1 million retirement still work? Yes. The timeline and the required contributions change, but the destination is still reachable. Let me run the numbers for someone starting at 35. If you start at 35 contributing $500 per month to a combination of 401k and Roth IRA investments and index funds, at a 10% average annual return, by age 65 you have approximately $1,130,000. Starting at 35, with 30 years instead of 43. The required monthly contribution is higher because you have less time, but the destination, $1 million retirement, is still fully reachable on a regular salary starting at 35. What about starting at 45? Starting at 45 with 20 years until 65. To reach $1 million by retirement, you need approximately $1,400 per month in total contributions, including employer match. That is a higher bar. It requires a higher income or more aggressive savings. But for many people earning in the $60,000 to $80,000 range in their 40s, it is still achievable with intentional prioritization. What about Thomas, who we have been following since the last video, who started seriously at 47. Thomas is earning $68,000. He has 17 years until 65. He is now contributing 12% to his 401k, capturing his full employer match, and $400 per month to his Roth IRA. He applied the 50% rule to his recent raise. His total monthly contribution is approximately $1,200 per month. At that contribution rate over 17 years at 10% average return, Thomas reaches approximately $660,000 at 65. Not $2 million like Elena, but $660,000 plus Social Security, plus any equity in his home, puts him in a genuinely secure retirement. Not the outcome the early start would have produced. A genuinely good outcome from a late start taken seriously. The early starter always wins on the math, but the late starter who takes it seriously still wins compared to the person who never starts at all. Let me pull the complete picture together now, because I want you to see the full roadmap in one place. Your 20s, build the foundation. Emergency fund, employer match captured, high interest debt eliminated, Roth IRA opened, $100 to $200 per month automated into index funds, habit established. Your 30s, maximize the advantage. Tax advantaged accounts increased with every raise using the 50% rule. Student loans eliminated, housing handled correctly, contributions growing steadily. Your 40s, accelerate. Catch-up contributions beginning at 50, consumer debt fully eliminated, income maximized, contributions at their highest level. The compounding is becoming visible and motivating. Your 50s, let it run. The portfolio is doing most of the work. Stay consistent. Do not make dramatic changes. Do not try to get clever. Let the index funds do what they have always done. Your 60s, approach the finish line with clarity. Know your number. Know your withdrawal rate. Know your Social Security estimate. Have a clear plan for the transition from accumulation to income. That is the complete roadmap, from the first dollar to the last, from 22 to 65, from a starting salary of $38,000 to a retirement portfolio of over $2 million. I want to close with something I feel strongly about, and it is the thing that motivated me to build this entire series from the very beginning. The information I shared in this video is not secret. It is not proprietary. It is not something that was invented recently or discovered by a small group of insiders. It has been available in books and articles and academic research for decades. What has been missing for a lot of regular people is someone presenting it clearly, without jargon, without assuming financial background, without making it feel like something that only applies to people who already have money, without selling something at the end. Elena is not a real person, but the math behind her story is completely real. And the Elena in this story is you, or it can be, whatever age you are starting from, whatever salary you are earning, whatever financial situation you are coming from right now. The $1 million retirement is not a fantasy for other people. It is a mathematical outcome that is available to almost every working person in this country who starts reasonably early, contributes consistently, chooses low-cost index funds, and stays out of their own way long enough for compound interest to do what it always does. Chris is going to get there. Priya is going to get there. Sophie is going to get there with room to spare. Even Thomas, starting at 47, is going to arrive at a retirement that looks dramatically better than where he was headed before he got serious. And you are going to get there too, if you start, if you stay consistent, if you trust the math even when the journey feels slow. The math does not lie. The math does not care about your starting point. The math just needs time and consistency. Give it both. And I promise you, the number on the other end is going to look like something you could not have imagined from where you are standing right now. Start tonight. Stay consistent. Leave it alone. Let time do the rest. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, if this video gave you a clear picture of what is actually possible on a regular salary, hit subscribe. Every single week, I put out one video about the money moves that matter for regular people, building something real. No hype, no noise, just the honest roadmap. Hit subscribe, and I will see you next week.